Hey, what's up guys? Today I will be reviewing for you guys this new Fuji lens 50mm f2. So this lens came out about 2 weeks ago along with the X-T20, and I've been shooting with this lens for the past week to 10 days. My most recent photo shoot was done with this lens alone. So I will tell you guys some pros and cons of this lens and see if you guys want to give it a try. So first thing first, build quality. This lens has a very good build quality. It's still made in Japan, which is very nice. It's weather sealed. The weight, it's not too heavy, but it feels very high quality. It doesn't feel like cheap plastic or anything like that. Very nice in the hand. The aperture ring is very nice and dampened, just like the focus ring. It's very nice to pull focus with this lens. The lens hood does a very good job of blocking out flare. I actually, when I was shooting, I used some softbox lighting, and this was able to keep out some of the unwanted flare, so it does a very good job of keeping out the flare. The size of it is also very small, and I think it's a very good size of lens hood. Unlike the 56 f1.2, the Fuji 56mm, that lens hood is kind of big, so this one is very nice, very minimal, and make the whole package is very compact. The autofocus of this lens is also very fast, just like the 23mm f2. Focus extremely fast and very accurate, even in low light. The shoot that I just did, we shot it in the hotel room, so lighting was not very ideal, but it has no problem locking on focus. So focus is very good. Image quality, this lens has very good image quality. I wouldn't say that it's sharper than the 56 1.2, but it's very sharp. In my opinion, it's a little bit sharper than the 23mm f2. This lens, when shooting wide open, sharp across the frame, corner to the middle, everywhere in the frame is very sharp. The minimum focus distance of this lens is 39cm, very close. You can actually use this lens to take product photography. You can take food picture, and when you're shooting wide open, minimum focus is sharp. It's sharp across the frame, and because of that close focus distance, you can really isolate your subject very good with this lens. And that is one of the reasons why I prefer this lens over the 56 1.2, because of that minimum focus distance and the small size that this lens offer. The bokeh, the out of focus area of this lens when you're shooting wide open, it's very pleasing. Of course, it's not gonna go to the level of the f1.2 and the 56mm, but at f2, I think it does a decent job producing bokeh, especially with the 39cm close focus distance. You can really isolate the subject really well with this lens. Another thing is that this lens is a 50mm, which is equivalent to 75mm in full frame. So most of the time when you use this lens, you're shooting portrait anyway. So when I'm shooting portrait, I don't really shooting at f1.2, because then one of the eye is not gonna be in focus. So I usually stop it down to 1.8 or f2 anyway. So that's why I prefer this lens to the 56, simply because I'm shooting at f2 anyway. So there's no reason for me to pay an extra $450 just to get the f1.2. Instead, I'll just buy this one, only $450, and you get pretty much the same performance. Of course, the 56mm f1.2 is special. It's so sharp, and if you have the money for it, or if you really want that aperture, then by all means go get that lens. It's a more superior lens to this one, but bang for your buck, I think this one is a better buy than the 56 1.2. Distortion, I do not see any distortion shooting with this lens. Does a very good job. I don't have any flare, I don't have any distortion, I don't have any chromatic aberration. Everything is very well controlled. In my conclusion, this lens works really well for documentary photography, environmental portrait, because it's small and it's lightweight and it's water seal. It fits for somebody that is working in a very challenging environment, like if you're shooting at the beach, you're shooting in the rain, you're hiking in the wood to do environmental portrait. I think this lens is perfect for those photographers because it's lightweight, it's small, it's compact, and it's water seal. I don't think that if this is your only lens, I don't recommend, because just because the 50mm is equivalent to a 75mm, which is too long. You're not gonna be able to do landscape shot with this, you know. So me personally, this lens is, for me, what I only use it for shooting portrait and some documentary street photography when I really want to zoom in a little bit. But most of the time, when traveling or shooting landscape, I would just use the 23mm f2. So I think Fuji really has a nice f2 lineup right now that you guys can look into. The 23, 35, and 50. I think those three lenses is perfect. You can just get those three lenses and you're good. Pretty much your whole kit is complete, and you just have to get an ultra wide. So what I did was that I just get the 50 and the 23. I skipped the 35 because 35 is a little bit too close for me in between. So I have the 10 to 24 f4 as my ultra wide, and I have a 23mm f2, and I have this one, the 50mm f2. And I use this one for most of my shoot. Most of my portrait shoot is done with this lens. I love how it's so small, and I love how I'm able to isolate the subject really well. And this lens, autofocus, is right on, and it's so sharp across the frame, sharp wide open. I think this lens is so good for the money. This lens retail for about $450 right now, which is a bargain. So if you guys are looking for a portrait lens, I highly recommend you guys checking this lens out and give this lens a try. And that's pretty much it. If you guys like my video, make sure you guys thumbs up and subscribe for more future video. Thank you.